I'm Rhonda from Rhonda's Creative Corner, and today I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to make this beautiful bow with a few secrets. I wanted to show you how you can make this bow without your hands hurting as much. I know that sometimes your hands can ache a whole lot while you're making this bow, so I wanted to give you a few tips. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about the supplies that you will need. I always use 5. I never use less than 4. And I never use more than 6. My general rule is always to use 5 ribbon. And I will use 2 of the 1.5 inch ribbon and 3 of the 2.5 inch ribbon. You'll also need a chenille stem, scissors, and I also will be using the Probo the hand ribbon holder. I know you all are digging my hat, huh? Or maybe you're wondering, why is she wearing that hat in that video? Well, I wanted to promote for my very good friend Linda McManus, who has an Etsy shop called The Best Hooker Ever. Every time I read that name or hear somebody say it, I always laugh, but I have to let you know she does know how to crochet her butt off. So find her on Etsy, The Best Hooker Ever. Okay, so this is how I place it on the ribbon holder. It does not matter how you place it on there because you will be doing each ribbon separately. Okay, so I always start with the 1.5 inch ribbon. I do 2 of the 1.5 and then I do the other 3 of the 2.5. And so what I do first is I get my ribbon and I place it at the end and I measure 8. I'll gather the ribbon like so. I'll put this back at 1. I'll go down to 9. Measure that. Place this behind. You hold it together like this, and then you're going to twist. You just twist it once. You take this right here. You go back down to 1. You measure 9 again. You fold it, pinch it together. Sorry, I was out of the camera. And then you twist just once. Okay, so you always want to make sure that your tails are to the front. All right, I'll go again and I'll measure again at 8 and I'll cut the ribbon. There you have it. This is what you want it to look like with your tails to the front. I then take my pipe cleaner, and this is where it's going to save your hands because usually you have to hold this the whole time. Okay, so you're just going to take your pipe cleaner, you make sure that it's even, and you just twist it off once and you put it to the side. You'll get your next ribbon, and I did switch ribbons on y'all. I thought that this one would look better. You do the same thing. Now, if you want your ribbons to stagger, I always measure 8 for the tails, okay? But if you want your ribbons to stagger, you'll measure 8. You'll pinch it in the middle. And like I measured 9 last time, this time I'll do 9.5. You fold it back. You pinch it. And then you turn. All right, you just turn it once. You go back here, you measure your 9.5, you place it in the back, you pinch it, and you just turn it once. Okay, and your ribbon will turn, but that's okay. It'll get a little twisted on your holder, but that's okay. So you just want to make sure that this is to the front. Again, you'll go here, you'll measure 9.5, and then you'll cut there at 9.5. And this is what you want it to look like. So you'll take this, what you've already made, you turn it on the back, and all you do is untie, okay? And then you're going to place this. You have it like that. You're going to just place this right in the center. Oh, I'm sorry, I had that backwards. So you want the front part to go forward, okay? And then just twist it once, okay? And then you put it to the side. All right, now we're going to start on the 2.5 ribbon. And you can move this because sometimes on the holder it'll cause your ribbon to spin out, so I just take the 1.5s off, okay? So now I'm going to take the 2.5s, okay? I'm going to measure 8 again. You're going to pinch. This time I'm going to do 10. Measure. And you just match up where your fingers are, okay? And then you just pinch it together. And then what you're going to do, you're going to just twist, okay? You just twist it where this is going to be in the front, okay? Then you take it, you measure your 10 again, and go to the back, okay? So you have it like that. It's going to be like this, and then you just twist, all right? And you hold that. And you'll take it, and you'll measure your 8 again. And that is where you're going to cut at 8. If you want your tails longer, you just measure them longer, okay? You take this, you untie, and you place it, I would say face down, where your front is to, you're going to see the back of your ribbons when you're doing this, when you're tying it off of your tails. All right, so there you have, and as you're doing it too, you can kind of straighten it out. You see how this is kind of bent right in here? So as I'm going along, I'll just kind of straighten it out as much as I can, because the straighter it is, the better your bow will fluff. All right, you see how that's bent in? I'll just take it and pull it up, and we'll really fix it once we put it a little bit tighter. All right, we're gonna go from a different angle now. Okay, here you have it from another angle so that you can see a whole lot better. And I wanted to tell y'all the bow that I demonstrate the fluffing on is a totally different bow because I already had that bow made. I'm going to be doing 2 videos today, and the other wreath that I have made already, that bow goes to that one. So it'll be totally different, but I will use this bow sometime. All right, so here we go. So you're going to take your ribbon. Like I said, you're going to measure out to 8. You just pinch it and hold it. You take it down to 1, and this time we're going to do 10.5. So you take it right to your 10.5, you grab it and you pull it back like that, and then you gather it or pinch it, whichever one. And this is where you're going to do your turning, okay? So you see how this is up. You don't want the back of your ribbon showing when you do this again, okay? So all you're going to do is turn once, okay? You see how it's up now? All right, you take it to your 1. You take it down to 10.5. Pinch it. And then you're just going to turn it, okay? You want this part to be in the front. I'm sorry, excuse me. So let me do it this way so you can see. So you take it like this because it's like this, and then you just turn it where it's to the front, okay? And then you can measure it out. You could put it here, or if you want to do it this way, if it's easier for you this way, and you measure out your 8. And then this is where you cut. All right, and there you have it. You can straighten it out a little bit before you put it in there while you're holding it tight. And this is what saves your hand, having the pipe cleaner there. I know of people using a clothespin also. I've never used the clothespin, but people say that it works well. So you know, you just have this twisted once. You just untwist it like that. And then the front of your bow, you want that to go up front, and you want this to be face down, okay? You put it in there, and then you just twist once. So there you have it. Okay. All right, we have one more to go. So you're going to take this ribbon, you measure out your 8. You pinch it, bring it down some. This time we're going to do 11. If you want to do them all 9, if you want to do them all 10, if you want to do them all 11, you can do that. Usually I use 10. I do the 10 inches, and then sometimes I do stagger them though. But if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can just do 10, okay? But this one I'm staggering. So you take it and you pinch. This is thicker ribbon, so it's a little bit harder, okay? So you can just do that. So I'm going to try to show you the best I can. So you have this like this, and then you just twist once, okay? You just twist it once and then you hold on there. All right. Then you're going to take your ribbon, put it back here, you measure your 11, and then you pinch. And then you take it and you just turn it once, where this is to the front. All right. My hands still ache when I do this, but when I first started, I didn't have the money to get the Probo hand. So I had to make everything by hand. And I know that can be the case for everybody. You know, some people may be able to afford it and some people can't. Well, I was one of the ones who couldn't afford it at first, so I had to do what I had to do. And most of the time, if I didn't even do this, I would just hold it and my hand would be hurting. But once I figured this out, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do every time. So you take it and you place it down in there. And this time, because this is our last one, I like to go ahead and try to straighten it out before I put it in tight. You take it, and this is where you're going to pull it. You pull it really tight, and you take it around 2 times. All right, so there we have it. So you can look right in here. You can kind of try to turn your ribbon straighter, you know, where they're sitting right behind each other. So when you do make it your final tightness on the ribbons, you know, you'll have the ribbons good and tight where they'll fluff really pretty. So I just kind of try to match them up and get them kind of turned the way they need to be turned, just like that. And then I just take it and I spin it, and I do it maybe about 4 times to get it extra tight. Don't do it too much where you break the pipe cleaner, but, and there you have it. So, and this is what it will look like, okay? All right. And so now you can either do this before you put the bow on or once you put the bow on. It just depends on, if I forget to cut it, I just cut the dovetails while it's on the actual wreath. But remember how we did the dovetails last time? You'll take all of your ribbon and you will do the exact same thing. Okay? Like I said, the dovetailing makes it extra pretty. This compared to that, yeah, dovetail it. So I'll just show this one side. Alright. Okay, so there you have it. It's all dovetailed and ready. Now I will demonstrate how to fluff your bow, and again, it will be a totally different bow than this one. I will use this on a later wreath. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to attach your bow to the wreath and how to fluff it. So I usually try to find where the tinsel tie is, and I like to put mine on there. Some people don't. They like to put it in between, but I like to put it on the tinsel tie. So I just get my pipe cleaners and I just put it through. And you can put it on each side. So I just take it, I'm gonna move these. Uh-oh. The refill. So I just take it and I put it through here. And then I put it through here. And then I just go behind it. And just make sure that you have it going across one of the wires in the back. And then you just pull it. And then I just twist it. And make sure you get it tight so that when you're fluffing, it'll fluff pretty and it won't be so loose. So I'll take it off and I'll show you. And then at the end, as you saw in my first video, I just wrap it around this wire and hot glue it. Alright. So since it's in here tight, I usually start with my back ones. And I just take it and I pull it out. And I just make it on opposite sides. As you get used to doing it, you can do different things. But when I first started, I just wanted to make it easy. So I just would take it and just pull them each one to opposite sides. Okay? And then it would fill in. And with this, you can just take it, and a lot of times too, you can if your tails are too long, you can cut those. So it's no big deal about that. If you think that they're too long or whatever, you can cut them. Uh-oh, I forgot one back there. So you just bring them up and you just keep working it until you really like what you've done. So usually I'll put the middle ones forward. I'll take the next 1.5 one and I'll turn it the opposite way of the other one. And then you just keep fluffing until you have it just the way you want. You can take these back or you can leave them forward. And see how this one is up front? You can just take it and pull it back like that. Every time you mess with one, another one kind of bends, but once you get it the way you want it, then it won't do all that bending anymore. And see how this one is long? I'm probably going to end up cutting that one. And you just take the tails in different areas. And the more you fluff this out, the fuller your bow will look, okay? And a lot of times, if this is bent inside of here, you could just put your hand in there and just kind of stretch it out. And that'll make your bow look a little better also. And like I say, don't get discouraged. It took me a while to be able to learn how to fluff the bows especially. I would always look at mine and be like, ooh, But once you just keep on doing it, you'll get better and better at it, okay? Can't forget about that pretty one. Alright, so you'll just keep messing with it and fluffing your ribbons until it becomes the way that you want it to. So I probably will change this up again. I just wanted to do a quick little demonstration of how you can get started on making your bow. Okay, so there you have it. This is how you make this beautiful bow by hand with a demonstration of how you can ease your hands more by using the pipe cleaner. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rhonda's Creative Corner. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments and I will answer them as fast as I can. Thank you for stopping by Rhonda's Creative Corner. Have a good day. Bye-bye.